when you're done with it, when you look back to where you started and like you're playing your sport again, you're like, wow, I really couldn't even move my leg at one point. Hi, my name is Taylor Geiman, and I'm a sophomore on the women's basketball team. And I have gone through 3 knee injuries in the past year. I tore my left ACL and meniscus in January of my freshman year. And then I got a meniscus repair. So that's a little bit different from them like taking it out. So my recovery was a little bit different with that. And then in August of my first like recovery process, they had to go in and take my meniscus repair out because it didn't heal correctly. And then 6 days from it being a year of my first ACL, I tore my right ACL. So I'm in the middle of that recovery process right now. So
you said you actually tore your other ACL 6 days from your first ACL?
6 days from it being a year. So it was like getting close to like a year from when I tore my first one, and it literally like right before it, I tore my other one. So
I know that injuries, a lot of it can be obviously very physical, but a big portion of it is very mental. So especially with you pretty much going back to back with injuries, how was your mental approach to possibly going into your second ACL from your first?
honestly, my mental side of it, like going into my second one, was so much better than the first one because I've already like been through it and I knew kind of what to expect. So I just went into it with like a mindset of I'm gonna like attack this rehab and like get back. And with my first one, I didn't even think that there was a chance that it was my ACL. So like mentally with that, when they told me, I like was not prepared at all to like about to get surgery and go through that. So, but then the second one happened, and I knew like right away that that's what I did. So,
Was there anybody that was kind of there specifically, like right by your side through your injuries, or somebody that you might have looked up to that helped you get through those tough times?
yeah, I mean, definitely my parents, for the most part, like the whole time, both recovery processes, like they've been there the whole time. And my mom came and stayed with me after both surgeries. And just like I could not have gotten through the first like 2 weeks of my ACL, both ACLs, without her coming to stay with me. One of my friends from home that I used to play soccer with, her name is Kayla Brown. She actually, right before I tore my second one, she tore her ACL for the fourth time. So it's just like such a sad story. And like if anyone can go through that, like I find myself honestly lucky because I've only had to do it twice.
I could not imagine doing it 2 or especially 4 times. Do you possibly look at basketball any different with how much basketball has put you through? Do you, I guess, yeah, look at it any different from before any of your injuries?
Yeah, it honestly makes me like enjoy it more. I don't know if that like is the right way to say it, but before like I would put so much pressure on myself because I'm like, oh, I have to be like at this standard because like play Virginia Tech and stuff. So I just always put a lot of pressure on myself. But now I'm just like thankful for the opportunity to play because like I know how fast it can like get taken away from me. So I think it's just put like the almost like put the joy back in the game for me instead of like worried about all this pressure and like how I'm performing and stuff. I'm just like thankful to be able to go out and like play every day. So
Yeah. Was there anything maybe cool or that you learned about yourself, or maybe something cool that you got to do when you did have to step back from basketball and were in that rehab process? 'Cause I know a lot of when you're in season, when you're playing, you spend so much time with basketball, then you get injured and you're in rehab, you have so much time away from it. Was there anything cool that you were able to do?
I think it's like helped me a little bit in like learning what I want to do with the rest of my like career and stuff. I got an internship this summer that works in a lab on in campus actually. So okay, rewind. I'm a biomedical engineering major, so
Wow.
like I'm working on yeah, so like medical stuff that I like. And in my internship this summer, they do a lot of research on like biomechanics and like how landing can affect like re-injury and injury on ACLs and stuff. So I think if I didn't have all this experience with my ACLs, like I would never have landed where I did. I like knew I wanted to do something with medical, but like in the medical field, but I didn't want to be a doctor. So like I went into that, but I had no idea like what I want to do with the major. So I think this like just helped me.
At that big of a major and it's super hard, how was the rehab process and going through all of that, making sure that you stayed up with your schoolwork while also staying up with your rehab? Because I'm sure that was incredibly hard.
Yeah, so my friends are like on my team always joke because I'm like always doing homework whenever we have free time and stuff, and like it's annoying because like when you have free time away from basketball, you want to just like relax and do that, but you're in the gym almost 2 times more than you would be like with normal season because you have to work out and do rehab and you still have to do like individuals and stuff. So like finding that time was really hard for me, but I think everything honestly being online kind of made it a little bit easier because there was like more flexibility. Like I didn't have to worry about going to class or anything.
Was there anything that you possibly learned from your second ACL tear that you might have wished you known the first time, or like something that you did different the second time that maybe could have made your first one go smoother, just having that experience?
My first one was so much different than my second one because of the meniscus repair that I had. So like in the beginning of my first one, I was on crutches in a straight leg brace with no non-weight bearing for a month to like let the meniscus repair heal. So that one just in general was like so different than this one now. And this one has gone like so much smoother. But when I came back from my first one, I like struggled playing with like confidence and stuff because I was like I haven't played in so long. Like I just kind of on the mental side of it struggled a little bit. So this time, like this recovery process, I'm really focusing on like the actual mental aspect of it. So like I know that when I come back, I'll be so much further than I was the first time because like I've taken care of that mental side that I didn't do the first time.
Of course. Could you possibly give some examples of some things that have helped you mentally on the mental side the second time?
Yeah, I listen to a lot of podcasts. So I think that just like gives me a different view of it. And I'm talking to like a mentor from home that played volleyball in college, and she actually blew out her knee, and they told her that she would never be able to play again. And she was back in like 5 or 6 months, I think, playing. So just having that, like her to be there and like kind of guide me through it really helps because like she's been through it. She's been through like the doubt of not being able to play again. I just started meditating while trying to trying to like kind of get into that, but that one's a little bit hard because my mind always is going. So like slowing down and meditating is different for me, but I think that'll help a lot in the long run.
So the last question that I have for you is, what is one thing you would tell an athlete that might go through or maybe has been through the same kinds of injuries that you have?
The recovery process is so up and down. Like you can't let yourself get too far down if you have a bad day or like too happy if you have a good day. Like just stay kind of even and take it day by day because you're gonna have like bad days, you're gonna have good days, and I think in the end like it's all gonna be worth it. But also to like really appreciate all of your little successes. Like when you first start, you can't walk, you can't move your leg, like you can't do any of that. And I think when you're healthy, like you take all that for granted. But when you go through the recovery process, like really be excited about those little like accomplishments because they're honestly like really big. And when you're done with it, when you look back to where you started and like you're playing your sport again, you're like, wow, I really couldn't even move my leg at one point. Like I think it's just really important to like appreciate what you couldn't do and like what you now can do.
Awesome. Taylor, thank you so much.